Archangel Michael says, I have been waiting for what felt like a brief moment in heaven, but a long-awaited miracle on earth, just to share this with you. There will be a massive change in your life. Please, listen with your heart wide open, because the Lord your God has not forgotten you, and the time of divine shift is near. Long ago, before you were born, the Lord saw your life from the first breath to the last, and every tear that would fall along the way. He has not missed one cry, nor turned his face from your silent prayers in the dark. Even when you thought no one was listening, heaven leaned in closer, and the whisper of your soul echoed in the presence of God. You were never alone, not even once. You were never forgotten, not even in the stillest silence. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul. There are seasons that feel like endless waiting, where nothing moves, and everything feels distant and heavy. You may have walked through those days when your heart was tired of hoping, tired of holding on to promises that seemed too far away. You may have felt overlooked, worn down by life's weight, and quietly asked God if He still sees you. Let me tell you with gentle certainty, yes, He does. The Father never takes His eyes off you, not even for a second. The winds of change are not just coming, they are already beginning to stir. But it is not just any change. It is the kind of shift that heaven prepares slowly, with care and purpose, with the kind of love that only God can write into a story. And your story is about to turn a page. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to walk with God every day. This change will not be loud or frightening. It will not come to destroy what you love or take away your peace. Instead, it will be the kind of change that heals, the kind that breathes life into places where you have felt dry for so long. It will come like the gentle rain after a long drought, the soft dawn light breaking through after a night that lasted too long. And when it comes, you will know that it was only God who could have done it. It will carry His signature, written in love. Right now, God is working behind the scenes of your life in ways you cannot yet see. He is opening doors that were sealed shut, restoring what felt beyond repair, and aligning blessings that have been waiting for the right moment to reach you. The delay has not been denial, it has been preparation. What has looked like a pause has actually been grace at work, shielding you from the wrong paths and guiding you toward His perfect time. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. You are not where you are by accident. Even in the moments when you feel stuck or unsure, God is writing a masterpiece, and sometimes masterpieces take time. There are things being healed in you, even as you read these words, wounds you've carried for years, lies that were whispered into your heart and made you feel like you were unworthy, unlovable, or unseen. But now is the time when God begins to rewrite those parts of your soul with truth, with dignity, and with divine love. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. You are loved with a love that does not grow tired, a love that stays even when everything else falls apart. This love does not require perfection. It does not wait for you to be stronger or more faithful or more holy. It meets you where you are and whispers gently, "I'm still here, and I'm not leaving." That's the love of Jesus Christ. A Savior who bore the weight of your brokenness so you would never have to carry it alone again. If you are facing something now that feels too big, too painful, too impossible to bear, I want you to know this: the power of God is greater than what you are walking through. His love is wider than the pain. His peace is deeper than the storm. And His promise still stands. He is not finished with you. What feels like the end is only the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope and goodness. Let yourself rest in this truth today. Let your heart breathe. You do not need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be perfect or brave all the time. You just need to know that God is with you, and He is not done with your story. There will be days ahead when you will look back on this time and say, "I didn't understand it then, but now I see why God allowed it. Now I see how He turned it for good." And in those moments, you will smile with tears in your eyes, because you'll know that heaven was always on your side. Hold on a little longer. Walk one more step. Breathe one more prayer. Heaven is closer than you think, and your miracle is already on the way. Archangel Michael says, in the quiet moments when you feel the weight of this world pressing down on your shoulders, when the nights seem longer than the days, and your soul feels tired from carrying things too heavy for words, know this with all your heart: God is near. He has been near from the very beginning, standing beside you in every sorrow, every struggle, and every silent prayer you've whispered into the darkness, hoping someone in heaven would hear. And I am here now to remind you, He did. There is a reason you are reading these words at this moment. It's not by chance or coincidence. Heaven works in rhythms beyond time, and the message meant for your spirit will always find you when you need it most. I have been watching, waiting, ready to speak this truth into your heart. You are about to step into something so deeply beautiful that only God could have prepared it. A massive change is not just coming, it has already begun to bloom beneath the surface of your life. Even if you don't see it yet, even if everything around you still feels uncertain, it's there. Just as seeds break open underground before they ever rise toward the sun, the transformation God has set in motion for you has started in the unseen places. And though you may not hear the shift or feel the change just yet, your spirit already knows it's happening. The stirring in your chest, that small hope that refuses to die, that is faith, and it's alive. I know there were seasons when you gave so much and received so little in return. Times when you poured out love, forgiveness, strength, and prayer, only to feel empty in the end. But heaven sees what others overlook. God remembers every act of kindness, every time you chose love over bitterness, faith over fear, peace over chaos. None of it has been wasted. Every tear watered the ground you now stand on. Every sacrifice has built a foundation for the blessings that are now on their way. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. You have not been forgotten. The doors that closed in your face were not rejection, they were protection. God was saving you from things that looked good but were not aligned with His plan. He was preserving your heart for something greater, something holy and meant only for you. And now, because you chose to trust Him, even when it didn't make sense, even when it hurt, He is about to honor your faith in a way that will silence your doubt. Don't be afraid if you feel things shifting around you. Sometimes God allows discomfort before breakthrough. Sometimes He moves people, situations, and even your own desires so that He can lead you into alignment with His purpose. What feels like a loss is often the pruning before the bloom. Trust that He is in control. Not one piece of your life has slipped through His fingers. He holds it all. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. The massive change coming is not just about your circumstances, it's about your heart. God is restoring your joy, your peace, your confidence, and your ability to hope again. He is healing you in places you forgot were even hurting. There will be a peace so deep, it will quiet every storm inside you. There will be clarity so clear, it will sweep away the fog of confusion and show you exactly why you had to walk through what you did. You are not behind, you are not late, you are not too broken to be used by God. In fact, it is your brokenness that has made room for His grace. He does not ask you to be flawless, only willing. Willing to let go of what's been hurting you, willing to open your heart again, willing to believe that His love can reach even the deepest shadows. I want you to remember this as you go forward. Every time you chose kindness, every time you stayed when it would have been easier to walk away, every time you prayed when you had no strength left, you were building a life that God now calls worthy of great reward. And that reward is not far. It's coming closer with every breath, every heartbeat, every new sunrise. So take heart, beloved. Lift your head, even if you have to do it slowly. Let the light in. Let the warmth of God's love soften the places in you that have gone cold. Let His presence wrap around you like a blanket and remind you, you are safe, you are held, and you are deeply, eternally loved. Archangel Michael says, there are moments in life when everything feels quiet, not peaceful, but empty. Like the world is still moving, but your heart has paused somewhere between hope and heartbreak. In those moments, when you don't feel strong, when you don't feel seen, when it seems like no one understands the weight you carry, I want you to know that God does. He understands it fully, and He carries it with you. Type, I love God, to claim abundance through God's love. He has seen every night you couldn't sleep because the thoughts wouldn't stop and the ache in your chest was louder than anything else. He was there when you pretended to smile while silently breaking inside. He watched with compassion when you gave others all the light you had left, while silently wondering if you had any left for yourself. And He whispered over you in those moments, not with thunder or grand signs, but with the stillness of a love that never leaves. This is not the end of your story. In fact, something extraordinary is beginning to rise right where you thought life had stopped. The ground beneath you is not barren, it's holy. Even when it feels like nothing good is growing, heaven is planting seeds in the soil of your pain, and those seeds will bloom into beauty that will take your breath away. You may not see it now, but soon, you will. There will be a shift, not just in your surroundings, but in your soul. A lifting of heaviness. A loosening of fear. A softening of the hardness life has tried to build around your heart. What is coming is not just a change of scenery, it is a change of spirit. God is reaching into the places that have been locked for too long, and gently, tenderly, He is opening them. Where there has been sorrow, joy will return. Where there has been waiting, answers will come. Where there has been silence, the voice of heaven will speak again. You haven't missed anything. You didn't ruin your chance. The delay has not disqualified you. In fact, your willingness to keep believing, to keep walking, even when it was hard, has positioned you for something so beautiful, only eternity fully understands it. God honors faithfulness. He sees what others don't. And He is preparing a breakthrough that will be worth every tear you cried in the dark. When the Lord begins a transformation, it rarely starts loud. It begins softly, like the way morning light slowly spills across the sky, turning night into day without chaos or noise. That's how He moves in the soul, quiet, sure, steady. And before you know it, what once looked like emptiness becomes a place of light. That's what's happening in you right now, even if all you feel is stillness. The light is coming. And it's coming soon. I know that trusting again feels risky. I know that opening your heart after disappointment feels like too much. But you are safe here. With God, your heart is never mishandled. He knows exactly how to care for you, how to lift your spirit, how to rebuild what life has worn down. Jesus walks beside you, not asking you to be perfect, not expecting you to have it all figured out, but just inviting you to lean into Him, to breathe, to rest in the truth that you are not alone. You've walked through so much and still kept your kindness. You've been let down and still believed in love. That's strength. That's faith. And heaven treasures it. God is not late, and He is not distant. He's just been preparing something far greater than what you thought was lost. You'll see it unfold, step by step, like watching the sun rise over a valley you thought you'd never leave. And when it comes, this massive change I was sent to tell you about, it will not just change your circumstances. It will change how you see yourself. You will remember who you are. You will remember who God has always said you are. Not forgotten. Not broken. Not too far gone. But chosen, cherished, and deeply loved by a Savior who died so that you could live fully and freely. Type 999 if you trust Jesus with all your heart. There is mercy waiting for you. There is peace designed for you. There is joy that has your name on it. All of it is coming. So take another breath. Take another step. Keep your heart soft. Let grace find you where you are. You are not too late. You are not too lost. The story is far from over. Archangel Michael says, the weight you've been carrying, the quiet pain you've tucked away in the corners of your heart, the questions you've asked through trembling prayers, all of it matters. Heaven has heard you, and God has seen every part of your journey. Not just the victories that others may see, but the long, lonely battles you've fought in silence. You've been braver than you know, stronger than you feel, and more faithful than you realize, even on the days when all you did was survive. There is a sacred shift happening now, and it begins in the deepest part of your soul. This change that is coming will not simply alter what surrounds you, it will touch the very core of who you are. It will bring restoration to what felt broken beyond repair. It will awaken the joy that sorrow tried to bury. And it will remind you, in the most tender and powerful way, that God has always had a plan. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are born out of the quietest places. That's where God often begins, within the stillness, in the pause, in the moments where you felt forgotten. But you were never forgotten. You were being formed. God was shaping you, gently preparing you, not for a life that looks perfect, but for a life that is full of Him. That's the kind of change He brings, one that makes room for more of His love, His presence, and His grace. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. This moment, right now, is not small. It may feel like just another day, but in Heaven's view, it is a turning point. What once felt delayed is about to move quickly. The long prayers that seemed unanswered are being gathered into something new. Doors are opening, not by force, not by chance, but by divine timing that no man can alter. And when they open, peace will follow. Not the kind the world offers, but the peace that comes from knowing you are right where God wants you to be. Your heart may have scars, and your story may have chapters you don't speak of often. But those parts are not disqualifiers. They are proof that grace has been at work in your life. Every scar, every tear, every fall and rise, has been seen by the eyes of a loving Father. He never turned away. He never left your side. His love stayed when others walked away. His hand held you when you felt too weak to hold yourself. You've grown in ways that can't be measured by the world's standards. You've learned how to trust in the silence, how to hope in the waiting, and how to keep walking even when the road was unclear. And now, that journey has brought you to the edge of something new. God is about to take you deeper into His promise, further into His purpose, and higher into the joy that only He can give. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too late for what God has planned. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are the one He has chosen to bless, to heal, and to restore. And not just in small ways, but in the kind of way that will change how you see life itself. You will no longer live in survival. You will begin to live in abundance, not just of things, but of love, peace, purpose, and joy. Type 1010 to affirm that God's timing is perfect. Heaven rejoices over you, not for what you have achieved, but for who you are. You are His. That alone is enough. And because you are His, nothing that comes against you will win. No storm will drown you. No night will last forever. Light is coming. Healing is coming. Peace is already being poured into the places that have felt dry and tired for far too long. Let yourself believe again, not because you feel ready, but because God is already moving. Let your heart open again, not because the past doesn't hurt, but because love is greater than pain. Let yourself breathe in this moment, and remember, you are safe. You are held. You are being led into something new. And when the change comes, and it will, you'll look back and see how every moment led to this one. How every tear was counted, every prayer was treasured, and every step, even the slow ones, were part of God's perfect plan. Archangel Michael says, if you could see what I see from heaven, if you could feel the weight of love God has for you, even in your most fragile moment, your heart would overflow with peace. You have walked through so much already, and yet here you are, still breathing, still holding on, still hoping for something more. That is not weakness. That is grace. That is what heaven calls strength. And I want you to know, the massive change that is unfolding in your life will not only lift the burdens you have carried, but it will bring beauty to the places that felt forgotten for far too long. There are things God has kept hidden in your life, not to punish you, but to protect you. There were doors that didn't open because they would have led you away from your purpose. There were people who walked away not because you were unworthy, but because their part in your story had ended. And though some losses felt like wounds, God has been working quietly, lovingly, building something more beautiful than you would have ever dared to ask for. He has never been late, and He never will be. You may not always understand the timing, but God's hands are steady, sure, and full of mercy. What's been delayed is not denied. What seemed to be taken will be returned in ways far richer than before. The pain that made you question your future will soon be the reason you recognize your miracle. Because everything God allows, He uses, and He only allows what will one day reveal His glory in your life. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. That burden was never yours. You were created to walk with God, to lean on Him, to let Him carry the parts that are too heavy. And He is inviting you now, more than ever, to lay those burdens down. The anger, the fear, the anxiety, the grief. Let it fall. Let it be released into His hands, because what is coming will require your heart to be open, light, and free. This transformation you're entering into is not a surface change, it is a holy restoration. It's not about quick fixes or empty promises. It's about God reaching deep into your soul, rewriting the parts of your story where sorrow once lived, and replacing them with peace. The kind of peace that does not need answers. The kind that simply knows, deep within, that everything will be okay because He is near. Type 1111 if you believe heaven is listening. There will be days ahead where you will feel the shift more clearly. You will wake up and notice that the heaviness has lifted, and your thoughts are no longer filled with fear. You will catch your reflection and see not the wounds, but the resilience. You will walk through moments that once would have broken you and realize, they no longer hold power over your heart. That is what God is doing. He is breaking the chains you thought you'd carry forever. Even now, angels are moving in response to the prayers you've prayed through tears. Even now, the Spirit of God is covering your home, your family, your future, with divine protection and purpose. What has felt impossible is being made possible, not because you have done everything perfectly, but because you are loved beyond measure. You don't need to prove yourself to God. He doesn't wait for you to be flawless before He blesses you. He looks at your heart, your faith, your quiet strength when no one else was watching. He looks at the way you kept showing up, even when it was hard. And He says, "This is my beloved. In them, I am well pleased." There is nothing about your past that can cancel God's plan for your future. His mercy rewrites everything. And what is coming is not just a new chapter, but a new beginning, a deeper awakening of purpose, a greater sense of joy, and a life that reflects the goodness of the One who created you. So let yourself breathe again. Let yourself hope again. Let yourself believe that something beautiful is ahead, because it truly is. And no matter how long the wait has been, no matter how tired you feel, I promise you, what is coming will make every moment of struggle worth it. Archangel Michael says, every soul goes through a valley. Every heart walks through a season where the light seems distant and the road ahead feels impossible to reach. But even in that place, where it's hard to breathe and hope feels fragile, God is there. Not just watching from afar, but walking beside you, every step, every breath, every tear. He is not waiting for you on the other side of the pain. He is in the middle of it with you, holding you with a love that does not let go. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. You've been waiting, sometimes patiently and sometimes through clenched fists and trembling prayers, for something to finally change. And now, that long-awaited shift is closer than you realize. The massive change I spoke of is not a far-off dream. It is a move of God that has already begun in the atmosphere around you. Even the air feels different when heaven begins to move. And though your eyes may not see it yet, your spirit has already felt the first signs of what is to come. There will be moments soon where things will begin to fall into place, not by effort, not by force, but by divine orchestration. The phone call, the opportunity, the quiet peace that doesn't make sense, all of it will begin to arrive like puzzle pieces finally coming together. And when it does, you will not feel overwhelmed. You will feel seen. You will feel loved in a way that only the Father could love you. Because everything He does with purpose and gentleness, even when it shakes your world. Type 1212 if you know God is guiding your steps. God is not interested in temporary fixes. He does not patch things with promises that wear thin. When He rebuilds, He builds in a way that lasts. And this change that's coming, this moment He has prepared you for, it is not small. It will touch every part of your life, not just with new blessings, but with renewed vision. Where you once saw yourself as forgotten, you will see yourself as chosen. Where you once felt weak, you will feel wrapped in strength that is not your own. There is something sacred about being in the waiting room of heaven. Though it feels lonely, it is a place where deep things grow. Your roots have gone down into grace. Your heart has been softened by the mercy of God. And now, because you did not give up, because you did not let go even when it hurt, He is bringing you into a season of beauty for ashes. Not only for what you've lost, but for what was stolen, broken, or left unfinished. He is making all things new. And when the change comes, it will not just bless you, it will overflow to those around you. Your healing will touch others. Your joy will awaken joy in those who have forgotten how to feel it. Your peace will calm the storms of those who don't yet know where to turn. This is how God works. He does not just restore for you, He restores through you. Because the light He's placing in your heart was always meant to shine in the lives of others. There is no darkness too strong for the light of God. There is no past that His love cannot redeem. And there is no waiting that is ever wasted when your hope is placed in Him. Even now, He is whispering peace into your spirit. Even now, He is working miracles in the unseen. And soon, those quiet miracles will show up in ways that leave you breathless with gratitude. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to plan or predict. All you need to do is trust that the one who holds the stars in place is the same one guiding your story. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not stuck. You are rising, slowly, quietly, beautifully, into something greater than what you imagined. So rest now. Rest in the truth that heaven has not delayed. Heaven has been preparing. And the time is now. The shift is near. The love of Jesus has never been closer. Let His presence wash over your tired heart. Let His Spirit fill the empty places. And know, with every part of you, that you are about to step into the chapter heaven has been writing in love all along. Archangel Michael says, some of the most powerful moments in your life have not looked like miracles. They didn't come with fireworks or sudden clarity. Instead, they arrived in quiet ways, in the strength to get out of bed when everything inside you felt numb, in the courage to be kind when your heart was aching, in the decision to keep believing when there was no evidence things would change. Those moments, though silent and unseen, are deeply sacred. They are the places where heaven leaned in close, and God's love surrounded you more than you knew. Type 1313 to affirm strength through the Lord. This is how the transformation begins, not in noise, not in sudden waves, but in small movements of faith, trust, and surrender. That's where the massive change begins to take root. And even now, as you read these words, something is shifting. Not because of the words themselves, but because God's presence is with you, and His Spirit is gently preparing you for what's next. You may have waited for years, carrying dreams in your heart that felt too fragile to speak aloud. You may have silently wondered if God had moved on, if your prayers were lost in the noise of the world. But I tell you now, every single prayer, whispered, wept, or wordless, has been held in God's hands. None of them were forgotten. None of them were wasted. They have been stored like precious treasure, and now, the answers are beginning to unfold in ways you didn't expect, but exactly how heaven designed them to be. The change that's coming won't feel forced or frightening. It will feel like healing. It will feel like the burden has lifted. It will feel like the warmth of a sunrise after years of walking through shadows. And it will happen not because you earned it, but because God has always planned to restore what was broken, to rebuild what was lost, and to redeem what felt wasted. He does not leave his children empty. He fills them in ways they never imagined. In this new season, you will not be the same. Not because you're losing who you are, but because you're finally stepping into the version of yourself that God has always seen. The you who is free from shame. The you who no longer carries fear like armor. The you who walks with a quiet confidence, knowing that you are deeply loved, endlessly cherished, and forever protected by a Father who never fails. Do not be afraid of this next chapter. It won't look like the ones before. It won't be defined by pain, delay, or confusion. It will be marked by clarity, purpose, and joy. It will be marked by peace that doesn't leave when things get hard. Because this peace will be built from the nearness of Jesus himself, and his peace is not fragile. It's steady. It holds you when everything else feels uncertain. You will begin to see small signs, conversations that lift your spirit, opportunities that feel right and good, moments of deep rest where there was once anxiety. These are not random. They are signals that the atmosphere around you is changing. Heaven is moving in your favor. God is aligning things that have been long in the making. And He is doing it all with love, with care, and with perfect timing. Let your heart begin to breathe again. Let the weight you've been carrying slowly fall from your shoulders. Let go of the need to control every outcome, and lean fully into the truth that you are being led by the one who knows exactly where you're going. He sees what's around the corner. He knows what's ahead. And He promises to walk with you through every step of it. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. This part of your story will be different. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because your heart will become anchored in something unshakable. You will feel God's presence not as a distant idea, but as a living, breathing comfort that never leaves. You will experience the kindness of Jesus in ways that soften the deepest parts of you. And you will find joy again, not as a moment, but as a way of being. Type 1414 if you believe in divine protection. Archangel Michael says, there is something sacred about endurance, about the kind of faith that keeps going, even when the world gives you every reason to stop. You have endured more than most people will ever know. You've carried pain that didn't have a name, made choices in silence that no one praised, and you've pressed on through battles that left you weary, hoping that somehow, God still had more for you. And now, all of heaven is leaning in, because that hope, even the smallest flicker of it, is being answered. This massive change that I keep speaking of, it's not a dream, not an illusion, not some distant idea for someone more deserving. It is real, and it is yours. You didn't miss it. You didn't mess it up. It's not waiting on you to become someone else first. It is unfolding now, gently and intentionally, in ways you cannot yet see but will one day understand completely. The delay you felt was not a punishment. It was protection. God wasn't holding things back to test your patience, He was holding them carefully in place until your heart was ready to hold the fullness of what He prepared. He knew what you needed, even before you did. And because you have kept walking, because you have kept hoping, that time is now. You're going to feel the difference soon. Not in loud, dramatic ways, but in the quiet shift of your spirit. You'll wake up with a sense of calm where anxiety once lived. You'll make decisions with clarity where once there was only confusion. You'll feel a softness return to your heart, the kind that only grace can bring. And when you do, you'll know this didn't come from the world, it came from God. There will be days ahead when the change you prayed for will suddenly feel real. Things will begin to align, doors will open, people will show up in your life who feel like answers to silent prayers. But even more than what changes around you, the most beautiful part will be what has changed within you. The strength, the compassion, the wisdom, these are the treasures that no one can take from you, because they were formed in the fire and refined by love. God has not forgotten one single detail of your life. He knows the dreams you let go of because they hurt too much to hold. He knows the promises you've clung to, even when they seemed impossible. And He knows the quiet longings that you've never spoken aloud. Every one of them matters. Every one of them is safe in His hands. And some of them, many of them, are coming back to life. This season is not about doing more or striving harder. It is about receiving. Receiving what heaven has prepared for you. Receiving healing where you thought only scars would remain. Receiving peace in places where turmoil once ruled. And receiving the kind of love that does not waver or disappear, the kind of love that Jesus gives, constant, present, and deep. You don't need to explain your journey to anyone. You don't need to justify the way you've held on or the reasons you've cried in the dark. God saw it all. And He is proud of you. Not because you've been perfect, but because you've stayed connected to Him. You've shown up with your whole heart, even when it was bruised. You've continued to love, even when it wasn't returned. That is holy. That is precious in His eyes. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul today. The light you've been searching for isn't just ahead of you. It's within you. It's the light that came from Christ when He chose you, redeemed you, and called you His own. And now that light is growing. It's shining through the cracks, pushing through the pain, ready to rise and fill your life with hope. So let it in. Let it grow. Let your heart open, even just a little. Because God is doing something new. He is bringing your soul into alignment with peace. He is surrounding you with comfort that can't be explained. And He is leading you into days you once only dreamed about. This part of the journey is going to be filled with beauty. The kind of beauty that doesn't just look good but feels like home. And you will not walk it alone. Jesus will walk every step with you, just as He has from the beginning. Archangel Michael says, "You may not realize it, but heaven has been moving around you with care, preparing a quiet path forward, one that leads not just to relief, but to deep healing. I know your soul has grown tired from the weight of waiting, from the feeling that life has passed you by while others seem to flourish. But I need you to know that nothing has been lost, not your time, not your prayers, not your pain. All of it has been planted like seeds, and what's coming next will feel like a long-awaited harvest of peace, joy, and purpose. There's something beautiful about the way God works. He never rushes, never overlooks a detail, and never abandons His promises. Even when it seemed like everything around you was falling apart, God was holding everything together in ways you didn't see. When you cried out and felt nothing change, when you asked for answers and only heard silence, He was still there, strengthening you, building within you the kind of foundation that can hold something eternal. The change that is approaching your life is not ordinary. It is not the kind of shift that fades with time or comes with conditions. It is a complete turning of the page. A soft and holy rewriting of everything that has been hard. The struggles, the doubts, the broken moments, they will not define your future. God is weaving them into something redemptive. Something sacred. And when the time is right, which is very soon, you will see how even the most painful moments were not wasted. There will be beauty in the way things begin to align. It won't always be loud or sudden, but it will be certain. The right people will enter your life, not to take from you, but to walk beside you. Opportunities will open that bring peace instead of pressure. Your heart will begin to feel light again, not because all the problems disappear, but because you will be standing in the presence of the One who is greater than every problem. That is the shift that is coming, a life built not on fear, but on faith. Type Amen if you surrender fully to God's will. The world may not understand the quiet strength it took for you to get here. It may not see the nights you stayed up praying, the days you got through without telling anyone how much it hurt. But God saw. And He calls it precious. He calls it holy. Every moment of surrender was seen. Every hidden act of love was counted. And now He is coming to restore, not just what was taken, but what was promised from the very beginning. This restoration will reach deep. It will touch the parts of you that were once hardened by disappointment. It will soften the places that had to become tough just to survive. And it will awaken parts of your spirit that haven't felt alive in years. This is not just a season of blessing, it is a season of revival. The breath of God is blowing gently through your soul, clearing out the heaviness, and replacing it with clarity, stillness, and a renewed sense of who you are. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be for this miracle to unfold. It may not look like much from the outside yet, but inside, heaven is preparing something that will last. Something that carries the weight of love, not loss. Something that brings peace, not pressure. Something that allows you to exhale, finally, because the waiting is giving way to fulfillment. Let your heart receive this. Let your spirit accept that good things really can happen for you. That God's love isn't just for others, it is for you, fully and without condition. He delights in giving you joy, not because you've earned it, but because He is good. He blesses not based on performance, but on relationship. And you are His child. You are chosen. You are loved. What's ahead will not feel like striving. It will feel like coming home. To yourself. To God. To peace. And through it all, you will not be alone. Jesus will walk with you through every step, just as he always has, not as a distant savior, but as a gentle friend. He will guide you with kindness, restore you with grace, and carry you when your strength fades. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to trust that his hands are holding you, and they are. Archangel Michael says, there are moments in life when you feel like you've reached the end of something. Maybe it's the end of your strength, the end of a relationship, the end of what you thought your life would look like. You stand still, unsure if what's ahead will ever feel as steady as what you've lost. And in that moment, when the world around you feels too heavy to carry, heaven whispers a quiet truth that can change everything. Endings with God are never the end, they are the beginning of something greater. You may feel like you're standing in ruins, looking around at what's been broken, unsure if anything can be rebuilt. But God is not afraid of ruins. He is not overwhelmed by loss. He does not look at your life and see failure. He sees potential. He sees redemption. And most of all, he sees you, right where you are, exactly as you are, with deep love and full understanding. Nothing you've gone through has been wasted. Not a single tear has fallen without purpose. Not a single moment of pain has gone unnoticed by your Creator. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. Type 1717 to affirm your life is in God's hands. The massive change coming into your life isn't meant to erase your past, it's meant to redeem it. God doesn't need to start over with someone new, He wants to finish the good work He began in you. And though the journey has been long, though the nights have tested your faith and the silence has made you question if He's still near, the answer has always been yes. He is near. Closer than your next breath. And now, He is moving. This change won't be like anything you've experienced before. It won't look like the world's version of success. It won't come dressed in noise or chaos. It will come with stillness. With clarity. With a gentle unfolding of things long hoped for. You will begin to feel safe again. Your soul will exhale. Your mind will settle. You will start to dream again, not because you forced yourself to hope, but because God will restore your ability to believe without fear. What's ahead will not require you to pretend or perform. It will not ask you to be someone you're not. God's plan for you is grounded in truth, in honesty, and in the freedom to be fully yourself, without shame, without guilt, and without the pressure to always be strong. You will find strength, yes, but it will come from grace, not from striving. Amen.